All right, what's going on, guys? Let me know, first of all, if you guys can hear me now. Can you hear me? I'm hoping you guys can all see this now. Your attendees. Let me know who's all here, and if you a little bit of technical difficulties here. On Facebook. Just let some people know. Yes, I can hear and see. Problem fixed. Here we go. I can hear and see you. Perfect. Yay. Awesome. So now we can start. I just want to make sure that we got everyone up here. How's it going, Terry? Hey, Jane. Hey, Michael. Hi, Tammy. How's it going? Let me know how you guys are all doing today. Sorry for a little bit of the technical difficulties we had there. So I just want to make sure that we give everyone the opportunity to jump on here, even though we did have some technical difficulties, because I will not be doing a replay. So just make sure that we got everyone here. And I'm just going to jump in. I had to restart my computer for whatever reason. So I'm just going to jump in here and pull up a couple things. Just to make sure that I can show you guys some examples of what I've been doing, so you guys can kind of see for yourself. Okay, so let's check here. Just gonna pull up a couple things. Okay. So what my goal is here is I'm gonna pull up a couple examples of some things that I'm doing. But what my goal is here, guys, is just to kind of show you what's kind of possible. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to show you guys some of the stuff that I've been able to do, how I've been able to do it. So you guys can kind of just take what I'm doing and model it for yourselves. Obviously there's going to be people on here. I might actually end up giving the replay to a few people because I messed up there with the audio and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of lay some stuff out. And I realize some of you that are here are going to be beginners, and some of you already kind of know, a lot of some stuff. So I'm going to go a little bit advanced for certain people, and I'm going to be going a little slow for some other people too. I want to make sure that everyone that's here that took the time to come out is going to be able to take something away from this today. So I just want to be able to make sure that everyone's kind of aware of what we're doing. What I'm doing right now is I'm just going to pull up a couple different examples so I can use those. And then, yeah, we'll be able to get rocking. So basically what I want to go over is I'm going to go over, for some of you that don't know the traffic sources that I'm using right now. My friend Nasty J here, and I'm just a little loud. We'll pause that. And I'm just going to pull up a couple more here just so I can share these with you guys. Okay. So I got that now. Okay. All right. Okay. So we lost your video feed. All I see is your B shirt. It's all good. I just turned that off for a sec while I grab some things. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to jump in and share my screen. So entire screen. We'll go share. All I want to know here, guys, is that you guys can see my screen. Just let me know in the comment section if you can see my screen. It should look like the never-ending screen of death right now, showing you everything over and over of everything. But I just want to see if you guys can see this. Right? Let me know in the section there that can you see my screen? Let me know. I realize that there's a 30-second delay here, so when we hear yes, you can see my screen. Okay, so awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dive in, and I'll be jumping back in here every now and then just to kind of see, just to kind of see what the responses are. So it's going to every once in a while go from never-ending screen of death to a bunch of other things. Okay. So I just want to go over some things here. Now, obviously, I realize that there's a lot more information I wanted to talk about that I just couldn't fit into this. It's just, there's no way for me to kind of jump on and everything. So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of give you a basic overview of some of the stuff that you're doing. Some of you guys are working with me directly already, or you're working in the team that we're working with, and some of you guys are in some other businesses. Some of you are working with other companies, and so I'm going to give you guys some examples based on kind of what you guys are doing, you know, depending on what products you're offering, depending like what kind of, like how much their products cost. It's all going to kind of just differentiate and be able to tell me like what we're going to be able to do moving forward for you guys. So basically, I just want to show you guys how to drive more traffic, generate more leads, and convert more sales. And I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing to generate up to 5 figures a month online. And so hopefully you guys can take what I'm showing you and be able to apply it, whether you're working with me directly or whether you're working on your own personal business. It doesn't really matter. You're going to be able to take all these things and apply it to your business right away. Some of the stuff, like I said, you guys might know some of the stuff, and some of the stuff is going to be completely over your head for you guys. So I just want to kind of gauge and make sure that I'll be asking some questions and some feedback as we go along, and hopefully we're able to answer some of those questions as we go. So first thing is, when a lot of people, like you're gonna see this, and this is gonna put some people off right away. Paid traffic, solo ads, right? Because I had a lot of bad experience with solo ads before. I dealt with a lot of crap traffic. I dealt with a lot of just people that would just take my money and run, and the traffic didn't convert, and it was just all garbage. So I actually ended up building my previous business just based on Facebook ads. But what I found was that for the new person to come in, Facebook ads was not something that was extremely duplicatable for everyone to be able to do. You know, if they had a lot of free time to be able to go in and test and do all these different things, then sure, it was something that does end up being very profitable, but it's not something that really everyone can do right out of the bat, which is kind of why I started testing for a more duplicatable source, right? Because honestly, when you look at this, if you have high quality solo ads, which we have, for some of you guys that may know, I'm one of the guys that was in Empower Network that actually scaled out to like 2 million or something. We're actually using the same traffic source as that guy, and that's who we've been testing, and it's been phenomenal. It's been amazing. And what was actually is a lot of people get stuck on this part. A lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to drive traffic. I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know how to get people to see my site. Well, solo ads is by far the easiest and most duplicatable way to do it. There's just a little bit of a different way you got to go about it when you're going and using that type of traffic. So right, when it's very simple. It's actually the easiest part when you know where to shop, right? That was a big point, because it's literally, you can go into Facebook ads and mess around forever and really not get any clicks, or you can come here and be like, hey, I want 500 people to my site, click. You know what I mean? And if you have it that's high quality, you know, that's where it's at. That's where you're able to convert it. So we have a very, very high quality traffic source. I'm going to be able to share some of those with you at the end of this webinar here. And then basically what the reason why we're doing this is because it's extremely duplicatable. Anyone can come in and click a button and get traffic, right? It's scalable, especially when you have a big enough provider that you're able to kind of go out and scale it out to 10,000, 100,000, 1 million clicks a month, right? You're able to kind of just go and scale out whenever you want, which is really, really big. That's a big thing that I always look for is my traffic scalable? And it's on tap like Budweiser. I mean, any point in time you want more traffic, boom, it's a click away. So it's very, very simple, and I'm going to show you how I'm monetizing this type of traffic. Obviously, I can get into a lot of things like Facebook ads and Bing ads and things where you can get your cost per click down a lot lower. But the thing is, it's a lot more intensive. It takes a lot more work to get into doing stuff like that. So for a lot of people, if they don't have stuff that's converting right now, I would highly recommend just starting with solo ads. It's super easy, and it's something that I'm always going to keep in place because I always know it converts, and I'm always going to have that running. And then I can have some other sources running in the background as well that I test and tweak to get it lower. But solo ads is going to be something that I always run. It's scalable, it's duplicatable, anyone can do it. It's super simple. Okay, capturing the lead. So this is where a lot of things get a little bit different. Like when you are running, say for example, Facebook ads, or most ads, when you're running things, you want to be providing value on the front. You're kind of going through, maybe you're doing a video opt-in page where you're giving away a free PDF or something like that, and I'll show you some examples of stuff like that. But with solo ads, when you guys are running this type of traffic, you want it to be a very, very basic capture page template. You're not wanting to take a lot of information. You want to kind of just take out as many factors as possible so that you can get the highest conversions to lead at the very beginning, because you're going to be paying a little bit more per click. You want to be able to get a lot of those leads into place. So I only use an email submit. I don't put a name in an email, just because the more fields that you put in, the more people are lazy. People don't like putting in more information. Like if you just can put your email in, or you put your name in the email, most people are going to just put the email in, right? So you're going to get the most leads out of that traffic, and you can segment that into deeper lists where you get their name and their phone number and stuff like that later on as you go through. Right off the bat, you just want to get the most leads as possible. And you want to be doing a two-step opt-in process, right? So I'll jump into some things where I show you the two-step process. And what that basically is you guys kind of see where there's an opt-in page, and maybe they got two little boxes where you can put your name and your email, or one box if you're just going to put your email. Well, what happens there is people know when they see that box, okay, I got to type my email in. But now what happens if you just see a button? You know what I mean? And the psychology to why this works is because you're getting kind of like a micro commitment. If you look and there's a box where you got to type something, or a button that you just got to click, most people are going to go for the button because they're lazy, right? So you go for the button, but now that you've clicked it, now the box pops up, but you've already made that micro commitment, which most of the time, now that you've made that commitment, you're more inclined to go and complete that commitment further and be able to opt in. So I always use a two-step opt-in process, and this is regardless to whether I'm running solo ads, whether I'm running Facebook ads, Bing ads, it doesn't really matter. I'm always doing a two-step opt-in process, okay? Now, a big thing on this, and this, again, no matter what traffic source that you're doing, you need to split test, and you need to split test the right way. Okay, there's a lot of people that go out, and I don't know if I have examples of some bad ways to do it, but I'll be able to kind of explain to you. But you want to make sure that you're split testing the right way, and you're split testing just like the right variables. So here, this is something that's really crucial, no matter if you're, especially if you're running paid traffic, because when you're running paid traffic, you have to be testing. You can't just be throwing things at a wall and hoping that it sticks, right? You have to always be testing different variables so you find out what works and what doesn't. So you want to be kind of testing at least 3 different variations at a time, and you want to be only changing one variable and keeping the rest the same. Now, I'll give you some examples there, but say, for example, your design would be the first thing that you test. So your entire capture pages are all going to be exactly the same, but then they're going to have a different design, 3 different designs, everything else kept as close to the same as possible, right? And what that's going to do is, by only changing one variation, it's going to tell you which one of those variations is the better one, what design is the best, right? And once you find that, you keep the winner, you cut the losers, and now you go to test something else, like, for example, a headline. So now you're keeping the exact same design, and then you're having 3 different headlines, but then you'll have the same body, the same button, the same everything else, just 3 different headlines to find out what headline works better, right? So you're always wanting to do that. And what you're going to do is, on your very, very first time you're testing something, so say, for example, you're going to use 3 different templates, right? So what you're going to do is, right at the beginning, you want to find out which one, you don't know, right? You're doing a test. So what I want you guys to really, really see here is, when you're split testing, everyone's always coming to me and they're like, what's the thing that works? What headline works? What body copy works? What background works? What
design works. But you know what? You never really know until you test it. I mean, something that could work for me, I could show you exactly what I'm doing, and you could run it to your list. But based on the observer effect of someone else going out and doing it, and based on us having different lists, mine might convert higher than it converts with you, and it might be a different variation that ends up converting better. So you don't really know until you test it. So it's a big thing to make sure that you're going through and you're split testing everything. And so you want to make sure at the beginning you're doing, you want to do something like 3 different variations. Say, for example, you're starting right away. You're doing 3 different designs, right? You're going to do 3 different variations, and you're going to be able to find out which one of those variations works the best. And then whenever you find at the end, you find something that works, right, you're always going to run 75% of your traffic to your control. So I'm just going to go and just show you like a little bit of results here. These are some of my campaigns I've been running a little bit here in the background. You see I got 78% opt-in rate there. I have a 69% opt-in rate. What else? 67, 73, 64. I've been getting really good opt-in rates, and it's all because I'm going through and split testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you kind of a couple examples of how I would go and do this. Let me just, I'm just going to pop out of here for a sec. Okay, so do you guys kind of get what I mean by split testing? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a couple examples. I'm going to see if I can okay. So what I'm going to do here is, obviously, for those of you that don't know, make sure that you guys can see this. But let me show you some ones I'm working on here. So this example would be the one that I'm using for solo ads. Okay. This is what I've done, and what I've done is I've tested to find out which variation found out. And for me, with my list, when I'm doing it, this design ended up working the best. This background ended up, I didn't think white would work. You know what I mean? I thought a colored tropical background would work better, but it didn't. Right? This background worked the best. This headline, everything that we're testing. So basically, all you're doing is you would go through and you would test 4 different designs. You know what I mean? Find out what works better, and then you go through and you'd be able to test 4 different headlines, right? So what you're going to be able to do here is you're always split testing everything. So when it kind of gets through, and what I'm going to do actually here is I'm going to grab a glass of water, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab my pen so I can kind of write down some stuff for you. But do you guys kind of get this? Who of you in here, if you guys can write in the chat here, who of you have put together a funnel, maybe have set something up like this and have started split testing? Let me know in the comment section. I'm just going to grab some water and come back and grab a pen. All right, what's going on, guys? So let me know if you guys have done split testing. I'm just gonna pull out a little pen here so I can draw, make this a little bit easier. Okay. Let's see. I don't even know what the Sketchbook Pro. That's definitely not it. Sorry, kind of running off the end here. I haven't really gone through Fly. Huh. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of show you just based on an example here.
See if I can close out mail. Okay. So just stop here for a sec. Still new to this game. I have, sir. I know Nate has. He's been a boss with split testing and stuff like that. So that'll be a little bit. You've kind of seen all this stuff already. But what's going to happen here? Let me just kind of share my video here for a sec. Okay. So what's going to happen here? Whoa, a little bit messed up. What's going to happen is we're going to go through and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how I've been able to split test all of these things and how I'm going to be able to find out. And because what happens is a lot of people will go through and they'll run traffic to something and they're not even split testing properly. What they'll do is they'll run traffic to something and maybe it doesn't convert like the way they would. And so what they'll do is they'll completely change everything and do it again, right? And what happens is then you never find out what part was it that worked. You know what I mean? You never know what worked. You never know what didn't work. You have no idea what's going on and how it worked. So you're not able to really figure it out. So now I have never used this this thing here, Sketchbook Express. Okay, so I've never really used this one. I usually use FlySketch and I can't even find out where it is. Okay, so basically what you're able to do now is instead of just putting everything into one, like having one lead page, this is going to be awful. That's a lead page. I'm very good at drawing. I was an Olympic gold medalist in sketchbook drawing. So for those of you guys that didn't know that, now you know. So what we're going to be able to do is like you're going to be able to do this. So now what you're doing is you're going to test 3 different designs. So maybe that's the button there, right? You're going to go through and maybe now this one has like a button over to the side. The box is on the side. It's a little bit of a different layout. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have another one with maybe a video or something with a button on the bottom, right? You're going to test 3 different ones and you can go and have 33% of your traffic go there, 33% of your traffic go there, 33% of your traffic go there. And all that's doing, right, is because you're throwing it up and it doesn't matter what anything else is. All this is telling you is what design works better, right? So you're going to come here and you're going to find out, you're going to go, okay, so this one converted at, maybe this one converted at 21%, this one converted at 24%, but this one over here converted at 41%, right? So what do? You keep this guy, right? And you get rid of these, right? And so now you have something where you know what layout works the best. So you took 3 variations, right, to find out, okay, now you got the design that works. And what you're going to do is you're just going to rotate that through and keep doing that through don't save. You're going to keep doing that through. Now you're going to go through and test headlines, right? So your headline could be now you're going to have the same template, but you're going to have 3 different headlines. You're going to go maybe free video reveals or something. And the thing is, can't even spell either. Free video reveals ... And for those of you that don't know, using like a ... in your headline, a question in your headline, something like that, those things tend to convert a little bit higher. But what you're going to do now is you're going to be able to see. Let's just play here. Okay, so you're going to be able to see what's working and what's not. So what's going to happen is you're going to get up to the point of, you've tested 3 different things to come out with what design works. Okay, now you got the design. Now you test 3 different things to find out what headline works better. Okay, now you got the winning headline. Then you test 3 different things to find out what body works better. Right? So now you got the best design, the best headline, the best body. Then you test out 3 things again, and you're going to go find out maybe what button works better or what background image works better. But you see, you're going to go through and you're going to have 12, 13, 15 different variations that are all going to tell you what the best design, the best headline, the best body, and the best everything to put together so that it works the best. Because what's going to happen is you're going to throw up a funnel, and your first funnel is going to suck.
it's going to be awful. It's going to convert like crap. But the thing is, the reason why it converts like crap is because you haven't tested to figure out what works better and what doesn't. This is a really, really big thing, is figuring out what works when testing and what doesn't work, right? And so for those of you that don't know, like what I use, I mean, so I'm able to kind of test in-house. Like this is all done in Leadpages, right? This is all done in Leadpages here. And that's basically, that's for you guys to be able to see. I just popped that up. If you don't have Leadpages, you can grab it there. But this is the very easiest one. Like this is what allowed me to do all these different layouts. This is one I kind of sent out to my list when I started a new project out here. This is one I was doing in a previous company I was in, right? So this was for a Facebook ad, right? But what I was able to do is split test, 3 different headlines, split test different pictures, split test different bodies. Because the thing is, the first thing that you put up isn't going to convert. It's just not. It's just not how it works, right? But if you just know that, okay, all I need to do is throw crap up, really just throw something up, just start doing anything. Like a massive amount of imperfect action is worth so much more than a little bit of perfect action, right? So you throw up whatever. And as long as you're testing different things, everything's the same, but do 3 different headlines. Everything's the same, but do 3 different bodies. This is something that people just so many of the times neglect. But the thing is like this is exactly why I'm getting these types of results. This is exactly why I'm able to go through and get 78%, right? 69%. Look at these, 60, 73. Most people don't convert anywhere close to that high. Right? And it's all because I'm going through and I'm split testing every type of thing I can possibly do it. And guess what? You know what? When I throw out my first funnel, it sucks. It converts like crap. It converts awful. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because all I'm doing is I'm finding out what works better. All I'm doing is finding out what design is better. All I'm doing is finding out what headline works better, what body works better, and what that. And as you go through, by the time you get to the end, now you have something that converts. Now you have something that's getting you 60%, 70%. So hopefully you guys are, if you guys don't have Leadpages already, and you're not building, I don't know how far along all of you guys are, but Leadpages is definitely something that I use every single day in my business. If you don't have it, you need to be able to have, like, just for seeing like the tracking on the bottom here, being able to split test, it's huge, just having it, and it looks professional. You know what I mean? Like you have everything look like professional looking like this. Like I could never create a design like that. Everything looks super professional. You're able to integrate whatever you need, right? Put in testimonials if you want, or you can go, if you're running solo ads, and you can create that very basic template. Okay, you can do everything that you need to do in there, and it's really, really simple. So now I'm just going to jump on to, let's go into, I'm going to jump back in here and see if that actually just made a little bit of sense. Okay, so let's see for the chat here. Do you guys kind of get an idea there? Can anyone see the screen? So let me know. Okay, did that kind of make sense with split testing, right? You wanting to make sure that you split test 3 different variations. I'll pull open an example so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to jump on one more. I'll show one more example, and then I'll move on to kind of to some tracking there. Okay, let me know that you guys can see this. Okay, so this was an old campaign I ran before with the previous company, and so you'll see like how powerful this is. Like I could tell, okay, this is I've changed it now, but you can move everything. You can switch it all up. You can put 33% of the traffic all through. You can put more on one. This one's converting higher, so you can do that. You could delete a variation. But what you're able to do here is you're able to split test and find out what's working better, what's not. And it tells you very, very simple. Okay, 40, 46, 25, and you find out what part of the variation works better. You know what I mean? And it's really, really crucial that you go into this, because then once you know this and you can generate leads on tap, because look at this. Now we have traffic on tap, right? And I'm going to show you some of that at the end of the webinar. And then we are able to generate leads very, very easily when you're going through and just split testing. And I don't know how to write good copy, you guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm not great at writing copy. But the thing is I just test a whole bunch of variables and find out what works. I have no idea what's going to work. I don't know what picture is going to work better. I don't know what headline is going to work better, but I'll test a whole bunch and my traffic is going to tell me what works better. You know what I mean? It's really, really easy when you kind of get to that point there. So I just want to make sure that that you guys kind of get that. I'm going to jump over here for 1 second. Makes a lot of sense as well. Provides great practice. Exactly what I mean there, Tammy. So what you're going to be able to do, I'm just going to pop up over in here again. We got the Hulk and some Iron Man behind me. But so what you're going to be able to, and this is just a really, really simple thing that I learned, but most people don't do it, or they don't do it in the right way, right? Because what happens is people try to test too many variables at the same time. And then if you're going through and you're like, okay, well, I got this one with this layout, with this headline, with this body, and then I have a completely different one over here, right? And then you don't know what part of it works, what part of it doesn't. So you want to make sure that you're only testing one variation at a time, just to make sure that you know what works. And then when you find the best part, you just keep the best one and get rid of the losers and move on to the next step. Colleen, you'll be able to kind of rewind to the beginning since you showed up. Everyone that showed up, I think I'll give the replay to. And everyone that didn't show up, I won't give the replay to. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go into that. Now, for those of you, most of you probably have, everyone should have lead pages already. And if you don't, I popped in the offer there for lead pages. So what we're going to do, if you check in pop-ins, it'll be in there. So now what we're going to do here is I'll jump back in. Just sharing my screen. Okay, and let's pop back into here. Okay, so you can see like this is how you're going to be able to generate a ton. And obviously I'm going to do a lot of other webinars where I go really in depth. I've never really taught much about this to too many people yet, because I just really, I've just been kind of doing it for myself and keeping it for some people that I'm working closely with that are taking action. And we also have a little group inside of our team that's teaching a big portion of some of this stuff as well. So I'll be doing a little bit more. I'll go more in depth into like just converting leads, just driving traffic. But I'm going to go into a couple other things here. So tracking and monetizing exit traffic. This is a big thing that people don't even realize that they can do. Most people just have no idea that, you know, what happens when you have people that come to your page, but they don't opt in. You know what I mean? What do you do for them? Most people just let them go. So say, for example, you're converting at 30%, you're getting 30% to lead, but then you're having 70% of the people that just leave and don't buy anything. Well, I'm going to show you a little trick here to be able to monetize some of that exit traffic so you can put a little bit more of that money back in your pocket. And this is what kind of leads you towards getting into like a self-liquidating funnel. Right? You want to be able to have as many different things throughout your funnel process so that you're able to recoup your advertising costs and get to the point where you're building a list for free. That's essentially the point and the goal when we're going out and list building. Because when you get to the point where you're building a list for free, that's when you can scale like crazy. When you know you're spending $5 and you're making at least $500 back when you buy that traffic, then you just keep spending it. You keep going through and build that list bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So what I highly recommend for this is using ClickMagick. Again, if you guys don't have ClickMagick, I'll kind of show you a little bit about this and what it's doing. Basically, what ClickMagick allows you to do is you can track all of your traffic. So basically, you could go, okay, well, I'm buying a solo ad, so I'm going to make a tracking link for that solo ad. So you're going to know how many clicks you got. You're going to know how many leads that generated you, what quality the traffic is. You know what I mean? You're able to see, like, is it all tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? For those of you that don't know what that means, tier 1 is like your high quality Canada, US, UK, Australia, things like that. And then tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 are all the other countries that you don't really want to target. So you're able to see when you're buying from a solo ad provider if they're giving you really good traffic. And then also too, you have so many cool little features where you're able to put in pop-ups, you're able to put in different things. So this, when you're going to like monetizing exit traffic, that's where it gets really, really useful as well. So it doesn't matter what traffic you're running, whether you're running a Facebook ad, maybe you're doing a Facebook post, maybe a Bing ad, a solo ad. You need to be able to be able to track each source, right? So you know, okay, these leads came from Bing, these leads came from solo ads, these leads came from a Facebook post that I made the other day. you need to be able to know what activities you're doing that are producing your results so that you can only focus on those things, right? Because if you're doing, say, 10 things, but only 2 of them are producing your results, but you don't know what they are, so you have to keep doing all 10 things to get those results. But the thing is when you find out which one of those 2 are actually producing the results, you can eliminate 80% of the things that you're doing and just focus on the 20% that are actually getting you those results. So it's really, really important that you're tracking through not only finding your conversions and finding what's converting, but tracking what traffic source that it came from. You know what I mean? You're able to test all the way through the funnel. And so for exit traffic, we'll kind of show you a little bit of an example here. So what you're able to do is you're able to run, there's a couple different ways you can do this. Now, monetizing your exit traffic, what you can do is you can go through and you can run it to a separate funnel. You can go to a webinar registration page or switch up the message for the offer that you're presenting. So let me kind of like just give you an example of that here. If we go, let's go file new, don't save. Okay, so for example, okay, so you have traffic, and I'm very good at writing. Okay, so you have traffic coming in. Okay, and it's going to come to your lead capture page. Okay, now 30%, for example, go on to the next page, right? 70% are leaving. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can see this. Maybe this isn't thick enough. That's not anything. Never used this one before. That's a little bit better. Okay, 70% are leaving. Now what you can do is now you can have them go to another page. So as soon as they're on the page here, as soon as they go up here, they're gonna go leave, it'll go boop, it'll be like hold up, it'll pop this up. And now this can be what I would always recommend is either, if you're gonna do this for yourself, have a video, right? Have a video, be like, whoa, 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 hold up, you're just about to leave here. Now what you can do is you can either send them over to a different part of your funnel. So say, for example, if you're sending this to like a business opportunity funnel, now you can go and send them off and be like, hey, you know what? Maybe you don't want to partner with me. Maybe we're not a good fit. But you know what? What I can do is I can show you all the tools that I'm using and everything that I'm doing in my personal business to create X, Y, and Z results so that you can duplicate the same for yourself. Just click the button below and opt into there, right? So you can do that. Or you can frame this offer in a different way, right? Again, this will be something that I can go way more in depth when you go into kind of like a how-to. I just want to show you kind of what's possible and what you're able to do, and give you kind of an idea of some of the stuff that maybe you guys want to learn moving forward. So what you can do is you can do that. You can send them to a webinar registration. You can send them to another part of your funnel. You can send them to a different funnel. You can pre-frame your offer in a different way. You know what I mean? So maybe it speaks to more of that audience. But you can do a lot of different things here just in your own sense with your own funnel to monetize that 70% of the traffic that doesn't buy, right? Now, another thing what you can do is you can take that traffic. We're going to go new and don't save. You can take that traffic that's leaving, right? And what you can do is you can use ClickMagick, right? So take ClickMagick, right? And you can go to, I'm just going to pop over and show you that here too, but you can go to ClickMagick. Sorry guys, a little sick here. And you can monetize using CPL or CPA offers, right? So you can go to Clickshare.com or you can go to CashNetwork.com and you can apply to be an affiliate there. And then what this allows you to do is now you can have cost per lead offers where you get paid per email submit or per lead that you generate, or you can have CPA offers which pay you based off of sales, right? So now what you're able to do is all those people that are leaving, you can be sending them to a bunch of things, a bunch of different CPL offers or CPA offers. And a way that I would do that, again, would be using ClickMagick. And what you can do is you can make in ClickMagick, you can make a link rotator, right? Because remember, it's all about testing, right? And you don't know which one of these offers are converting, right? So say there's 7 CPL offers you want to test, right? So you can take these 7 CPL offers, you can put them onto one link rotator so that it's going to run through all these 7.
And what that's going to do is it's going to go, okay, well, you know what? Number 3 converted the highest out of all of them. Number 3, number 5, and number 6 all converted really high. So you know what? We'll just go to number 2. We're going to cut number 2. We're going to cut number 1. We're going to keep 3, 5, and 6. We're going to cut 7, and there's no room for 4, but we're going to cut 4 because we found 3, 5, and 6 works the best, right? And then you can just run those, right? All running it through a link rotator. So there's a lot of different ways, and I can get into that too. And if you want me to go more in depth in that, leave a comment in the chat section there. Let me know that you want me to go a little bit more in depth into monetizing your exit traffic, right? If you want me to go more in depth into, stop here for a sec. If you want me to go more in depth into how to generate more leads, how to do split testing a bit more, let me know into there, right? Does GetResponse have the same thing? Sorry for being late. GetResponse have the same thing. Same thing for what? GetResponse, what that is an autoresponder. So basically what you're able to do, I'm gonna throw a pop in here. There's ClickMagick for you guys that want to see. Okay, so for ClickMagick, if you go into pop-ins here on the sidebar, you're going to be able to see that. Oh, this actually works perfect. I didn't realize you could do this. Okay, so what you guys want to be able to do, let me know in the comment section if you want me to go, because I'm going to be able to do a lot more webinars. I'm thinking we're doing more of this like weekly. So what we've kind of gone over so far is just going over monetizing, driving traffic, which I'm going to touch on at the end because I have some really good traffic sources that you guys are going to be able to use. And then also what we're going to be able to do is going into like the importance of split testing. I showed you guys the tool that I use, obviously, is Leadpages for that. That's highly recommended. Everyone in my team that works directly with me uses that. All the leaders that I know mostly use that. And that's the one that I highly recommend pretty much over everything. So let me see here. So let me know if there's any of those things that you want me to touch on more. I'm going to go into one, and I'll do one more heavily on split testing with a couple different variations and showing how I'm doing it. And I'll kind of walk through that part. Then we're going to kind of go into monetizing exit traffic. I'll be able to touch on that as well. And then what we want to be able to do is now we're going to kind of get into, now that you've generated the leads, it's like what do we need to do with those leads to get the most sales out of it, right? I think that's a big thing that most people want to know. It's like some of you might know how to generate leads, or you might know how to do these things, but it's like now how do I convert those leads into sales? How do I go about doing that? All right, so let me know in the comment section here if you guys are still here or what's up. I can't see. So, chat here, and you guys see. Just let me know there what you guys want me to touch on, and I'm going to jump back in to the keynote here. So basically, I didn't. Monetizing exit traffic is a really, really big thing, and this is why I'm going to go so in depth into that is because what most people do is they don't even do this. They let this traffic kind of just go away, but what you're able to do is you're able to go through and monetize this and get another 100, 200, 300 bucks from traffic of people that were going to leave and not buy anything. So I don't know if you guys kind of get how powerful that really is, but when you are able to, this 70% of people were leaving. Like they're not going to buy anything. They weren't even going to opt in and become a lead. But now, since you had, you're monetizing that exit traffic with either a CPL or a CPA offer, or maybe you're using another part of your funnel or a webinar registration, you're now able to get some of that money back, which is what helps you recoup your advertising costs, right? It's another way to be able to get to the point of like a self-liquidating funnel so that you're getting to put some money back. So if you spent 500 bucks on traffic and you just made 100 bucks from the exit traffic, now that traffic only cost you 400 bucks. You see what I'm saying? And then we can get into a couple of other things as we move forward as well. Okay, so exit traffic. So now it's going to come to
do you depending on how high of a product, like how high the prices for your product. If you're selling a $25 a month product on the front end, or if you're selling a $2,500 product on the front end, right? It's going to basically give a different variation of how you're going to basically go out and do it. So what you're able to do, sorry there, I got some Bulletproof coffee. I don't know if you guys have had that before. It's amazing. I would highly recommend it. So, for example, some of you guys here might be running a $25 product, right? You might be doing $25 a month, and that's cool. That's great. What you're able to do there is you actually can get to the point where you can run a funnel that just goes straight to a buy button, as long as you pre-frame your offer properly. And I'll give you kind of an example of what I did with that later on. But as long as you pre-frame your offer properly, and you realize that the people are joining because of you, they just want to know that they're going to get mentorship, that you're actually a real person, that you actually have knowledge that you're able to share with them that's actually going to help them succeed. That's really all you need to do. You need to just show them that you're someone that they can like, know, and trust, and then they're going to be able to join with you. Now, what happens is when you're getting into like a little bit of a higher ticket item, like something that's about $2,500, that's where it kind of needs a little bit of a personal touch to be able to close that sale. And for when you have a $25 product and you're leading up to a higher ticket item in the back end, this application process, like I like to go over, will be something that you can do after they've made the first $25 sale, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, because that's what I'm most familiar with right now, and I'll show you what I did before when I was dealing with lower end products. And stuff like that. So say, for example, I'm just going to say that we have a $2,500 product. We're going to be using an application funnel, which is what I like to do to be able to weed out the people that aren't serious and just let you focus on the people that are, right? It's going to have a list segmenting process, which for those of you that don't understand what that is, I'll kind of get into that in a little bit. All that is just basically segmenting out part of your lists based on the actions that they take, right? So say, for example, you have people that come in and they're just a lead, right? And then you have people that were those leads, but now they've filled out an application. Well, now you're able to speak to both those people in different ways. For the people that are just leads, you're like, hey, your call to action is go and fill out the application. But the people that have already filled out the application, your call to action is go do the next step, or whatever you're wanting to do them to do after that, right? So this allows you to position yourself to only speak to the most qualified people, and it immediately positions you as an authority. This is why you're going to be using the application process when you're doing any type of high ticket sales, whether or not you have a low front end product. If you have a low front end product, you'll do it after the first sale. If you have a high end product, you'll just lead in with a deeper application. Okay, so what you're going to be able to do, so I'm going to say for this example that we're doing this on an application process, and we're doing this for, say, a product that costs around $2,500. And there's a couple different ways to do this, but this is just the way that I've been doing that works for me so far. I can get into a bunch of different ways that work too, but this is the one that I'm just going to focus on for now. So basically, when you're pre-framing your offer, and I can give you guys some examples. If you guys shoot me a message on Facebook, I can show you some examples of some pre-frames that I do. What you're going to do is you're just really going to find out who are you speaking to, right? If you're running solo ads, what do you know about these people right now? You know that you're speaking to someone that wants to make money online. That's basically the biggest thing that you know from those people. When you get into Facebook ads, another thing, you get a little bit more targeted. You can speak more directly to them. But for this, you know these people are looking to make money online. You know probably that they've seen a lot of scams and a lot of crap out there. A lot of things like that, right? So there's a couple different ways you want to go about doing this, and this whole thing will take an entire webinar for me to just kind of show you how to do a pre-frame. I'm just going to basically short form go over it, and we'll be able to do a deeper thing there, but you'll be able to kind of see what I'm working with. So you kind of start with like an open loop. Like for those of you that saw me do the webinar video, I did this on a funnel that I'm using too, but you can kind of start off with like, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Matthew Jang, and this is kind of like a microwave. And immediately people are like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean it's a microwave, right? Now they're paying attention and listening to everything because they're like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Making money is like a microwave. What does making money have to do with a microwave, right? But it's something where you gotta close the loop at the end, right? So there's a thing about opening loops, but you gotta close them too, right? This is another thing, getting into NLP and things like that, which could be a whole nother funnel. Maybe I'll bring on Kayala to teach on something like that. But say, for example, if I use the microwave one, and then at the end of my pre-frame, it can kind of go into, you see now how after seeing all these things that I've taught you, you can kind of see how you can take your business, and instead of slow cooking it, you can just chuck it in the microwave and get faster results. You see what I mean? So now you've closed the loop. There's a reason why you said microwave at the beginning. It wasn't just saying it randomly. And a big thing, you want to be sharing your story, right? For myself, when I get into things like, for me, like I used to work at a butcher shop. I used to work at a butcher shop. I would make $10 an hour. I didn't really like my life. I didn't like the way that I was going. I wasn't successful by any means. I barely graduated high school. I dropped out of college first year. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life, right? I had no idea, and it just sucked. You know what I mean? It was awful. It was an awful position that I was in, and maybe some of you guys can relate. Maybe some of you guys are working at a job right now that you don't really like, or you're working at a job right now that doesn't pay you the money that you're able to do, that you want, or it doesn't give you the time to be able to go out and travel, or whatever it is, right? Everyone's been in a position in their life where they've been through some sort of struggle, right? So share that struggle, show that, and if you don't have, you know what I mean? Like I show how I went through that struggle, and it got to the point where, I ended up finding a mentor online. And so what I kind of do is show them where I was, right? Show them where I was. I was at a butcher shop. I hated my life. I was making $10 an hour. I was taking a bus to a SkyTrain to a C bus, 2 hours commute there and back. So 4 hours a day to make $10 an hour to barely be able to pay my bills. And I just knew there had to be something more. You know what I mean? I knew there had to be something more. And it wasn't until I was introduced to my current mentor that was showing me how he was generating 5 figures a month. And he was going on and telling me how he was leveraging the skill set of internet marketing to earn a full-time income online. And I could tell he was someone that I could trust. I could tell he was someone that it was honest, that I wanted to work with, and I didn't even think twice about it. I clicked the button below and I filled out the application and I got started. You know what I mean? And so what you're able to kind of do there is, again, I'm not going to touch too much on this. And if you guys want me to teach things specifically on how to pre-frame your offer properly, let me know in the comment section there too. I want to kind of gauge and see like what you guys want to learn about throughout this process and what you guys don't want to learn about, what you guys already know. So if you want me to teach more on how to pre-frame your offer, like you kind of get into and some little tricks. For example, you're doing a solo ad. Okay, this is an example that I would use. You're running a solo ad. What do you know about this person? They want to make money online. What else do you know? Solo ads are run by email. So you know that they opened up an email, they clicked on the link, they put in their information, their email or something, and they got to this page, right? So now that you know that they took those steps, you can kind of speak to that. You can talk about your struggle and then talk about how you got out of your struggle. Was that, you know what, I was just one day, I was feeling under the weather. I was not having a good time. And it just wasn't a good day. It wasn't a good day. I knew I needed something better in my life. I knew there was something else I needed to do. And so I was going through my email and I saw this one that just kind of stuck out to me. And I opened it up, I started reading through it, and I ended up clicking the link. When I clicked that link, it brought me to a page where I had to put in my email, and this was really weird because this was exactly what I was looking for this entire time. And now it's finally in front of my face. What I was exactly looking for, what I was asking for now just kind of popped up and just came into my life. So I put my email in right away and it brought me to a video just like this, where I was talking to my current mentor, right? And then this is where you can kind of add into things to allow them to feel feelings about you. If you want them to feel that you're honest, that you're trustworthy, that you're someone that you want to work with, well, you can start telling a story about how you walk them through that process. They're going to go, hey, I just opened up an email. I just clicked a link. I just put in my email and got to a video just like this. You know what I mean? And now when you go on to it, it's like, hey, they just did that. They just did that. They just did that. So now anything you say after that must be true. You know what I mean? So now you can go to the point where it's like, here, I'm going to jump out so I can show you guys. Can you guys even see what I wasn't even sharing my screen this whole time. That's pretty funny. Bulletproof coffee, never heard of that. ClickMagick is kind of like TrackMe, Colleen. It's kind of like TrackMe, but what it allows you to do is, Michael, I haven't had any luck at generating leads. Well, I'll be able to help you with that very easily, buddy. Very, very simple. If you want to shoot me a message on Facebook, I can show you some stuff. And I'll do another webinar just on that too. ClickMagick, what that allows you to do is it's kind of like TrackMe, Colleen, except what you're able to do is you're able to track through your entire sales process, but now you're able to add in pop-ups. Now you're able to add in maybe bars or all these different features, and it's super cheap. It's like 17 bucks a month or something like that for 10,000 clicks. And there's just a ridiculous amount of stuff that you can do with it. It's just really, really cool to be able to use. Yeah, I never thought this was even possible to do something like that. Yeah, there's actually a lot of really cool tricks. And into pre-framing, like I said, it's going to take a lot of me going through and kind of showing stuff. And I thought I was showing you guys my screen, but I wasn't. But basically what you're able to do is you're just trying to build that relationship and make sure you just want them to like, know, and trust you. You just want to show them that you're a real person, that you're genuinely interested in helping them, and just be real. And a lot of people will go through and they'll do a pre-frame video and they're scared to publish it. Because I remember when I first shot a video and I came up and I was just like, hi, I'm Matt. I don't know what to say. So what do I do? You know what I mean? Like I had no idea what to do. No clue. So when I would go through and I would do that, I would be scared to kind of share that information out. But what happens when you do that is they see you're a real person. I could be wearing a suit right now and try to impress you and do my hair better than it looks and do all that. But then that's not, I'm just going to be real. This is how I'm dressed today. This is how I look. I'm not going to try and pretend to be someone that I'm not. And the thing is like when I'm talking and when you talk, you're going to mess things up, right? You're going to mess up words. You're going to maybe forget what you were going to say. But guess what? That just looks natural, right? That just looks natural. And that's it. When people see that, they're going to look and they're going to go, hey, this guy just made a whole bunch of mistakes. He doesn't even, he forgot what he was saying. He's just being, I could do that. I could probably not mess up as many words as he did. And they probably could. You know what I mean? And that's what you want to do is you want to show them that it's possible. You want to show them that you're not, you're not anything, like I'm not anything special, you guys. And I want you guys to really see that is that I'm not anything special, right? I'm not. I just made the decision that I got to a point in my life where I was willing to do whatever it takes. I got to a point where my life was so low that I needed to do whatever it took to get out of that, because if I wasn't willing to do that, I was going to have to stick in this way of my life for the rest of my life. That's how I was going to live. I was going to live making $10 an hour, barely being able to provide food for myself. I was eating Mr. Noodles every day, taking a bus to a SkyTrain to a C-Bus just to get to work, 2 hours commute there and back, and I hated my life. And unless I was able to make a decision right now, I wasn't going to be able to go through and change my life unless I was willing to change. Okay, so let's see. So it's a lot cheaper than TrackMe. Yeah, Terry, I can learn so much from you. Of course, Terry, dude. That's exactly why I wanted you to kind of see this. And this is kind of like a general overview. I can get a lot more in depth into things as we move forward and we get to people that are really, really serious. And I want to be able to help you guys as much as physically possible. I've been able to do a lot online. And now it's, it's my turn to be able to give back to you guys. I want to be able to make sure that you guys know exactly what I'm doing. You guys can go out and duplicate the exact same results for yourself so that you guys can get that. Tammy, so I know I got to update my picture and brave making a video. It's hard when you're shy. See, and this is the thing, and a lot of people hear me talk in a webinar and they don't realize that I was going up through high school. I was one of the shyest kids. I wasn't very outgoing. I was very shy. If you told me 2 years ago I was going to be on a webinar teaching tonight, I would laugh at you. I'd be like, there's no chance in hell that I'm jumping on a webinar and talking. But the thing is like, as you do it more and more and you just become comfortable and just be yourself, don't pretend to be someone that you're not. Just speak how you would normally speak to your friends. You know what I mean? Just have fun with it. Literally, all you're doing is just going out and having fun, right? I just love being able to share with people and be able to help them. And I'm just showing them what I'm doing, right? And so definitely doing a video and just showing that you're a real person. And don't be afraid or embarrassed to share your story. It's embarrassing to share that I was making $10 an hour at 20 years old and I was barely being able to afford my bills and I was struggling to get through life and that I hated my life. That's embarrassing for me. But you know what? That's real, and some people can relate to that. Some people have a job they don't like. Some people aren't where they want to be in life. And a lot of people can relate to that point and they kind of see that and they go, hey, you know what? My situation's not that bad. Because most of it's not, so it's good. And use your struggles to show people that you're a real person and that you weren't always like this. You know what I mean? Or why you made a decision. Okay, so what is the best way to find a solo web provider? Does it depend on the product you're selling? It can and it cannot, but most of the time it's gonna rely on the quality. What happens is when you're going for solo ads, everyone, because when you're doing Facebook, you're doing Bing, you're trying to get the cheapest clicks, right? You're trying to get your clicks down low. So when you go to solo ads, you're like, okay, I gotta get the cheapest solo ads to get as many clicks as I possibly can, and that is a big no-no. You really don't want to do that, and I did that forever, and that's why I had a bad taste in my mouth when it came to solo ads. Because I tested all the cheapest traffic sources. Where honestly, what you guys want to be able to do is you guys want to be testing the more expensive ones, right? Because the thing is you can get 1,000 clicks at 30 cents each that are garbage, and I would way rather have 100 clicks that are a little bit more expensive. Maybe they're 85 cents each, but they're actually high quality. They're people that are looking for what I have to offer, people that are interactive, the people that are going to open my emails, they're going to go through my funnel, they're going to take action, and it's really going to be worth me buying the traffic. You know what I mean? And I have a really good traffic source. For those of you that are working with me directly, shoot me a message on Facebook and I'll give that to you. For those of you that aren't working with me directly right now, that's something we can get into as well. I mean, there's a lot of different things I can get into, and we can talk at the end here about some traffic sources that I'm using and how you guys can take advantage of those. And yeah, it's a lot cheaper than TrackMe, Colin. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking through the questions here. So for example here, let's see. So far we've gone through, so traffic, you guys want to know about traffic, so I'll do another webinar about traffic moving forward. Split testing, solo ad price range. Honestly, when you look at it, like if someone came to me today and they said, hey, I got traffic for $1.50 a click, what does that tell you, right? Why is it $1.50? You know what I mean? Why is it $1.50? It must be really good, right? I would go and test it. I would test 50 clicks, 100 clicks, 200 clicks, something. You know what I mean? I'm paying right now 85 cents a click based on a low package, right? I can get down to 75 cents a click from them, but right now I'm paying about 85 to 80 cents a click. And that can be, that's a good price range where you're paying good enough money. It's just like buying a Kia compared to buying a Porsche. You know what I mean? And it's you get what you pay for when you're going out and paying good money. And what I've done is I've tested some solo ad sources, so I'll be able to give you some, Colleen, since you're my mom. Hey, well, Mom, I'll be able to give you some of those, so you're able to kind of see what ones we're using and stuff like that. And I'll talk more about those at the end. So if you guys want to know too about pre-framing your offer, I can do a whole entire funnel just kind of going over stuff like that. Let me know in the chat section here what part of this moving forward do you want me to fully touch on, and then do you want me to go through and maybe do a whole series where the first one I just start with traffic, maybe that, and then the next one I'll start with going through and doing split testing and conversions to leads, right? Then the next part I'll go into another process like that, right? Let me know the type of things that you've liked so far and what you would like to learn more moving forward. Okay. About tracking, do we want to learn more about that? Do we want to bring out the guy that teaches that owns ClickMagick? So you can teach on something about that. Some of those things, right? So sorry, I'm a little bit stuffed up here. Okay, we'll go share my screen again. Okay. So now application. Okay, so say for example we're doing a $2,500 product. We're going to pre-frame to an application. So that is our call to action at the end, right? Very short form, name, email, phone number, maybe 1 or 2 questions. Okay, and I'll show you guys an example of that in just a second. Now, one of those 2 questions could be like, what's going on in your life right now that has you wanting to earn an income online, right? It could be, hey, how serious are you about earning an income online? It could be like not so serious, kind of serious, I guess, or super serious. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, right? And so what this does too is now you're able to segment this list into a segment. So now the people that filled out the application are going to be unsubscribed from your lead list and subscribed onto a now application list, right? Now you're able to speak to both those people in 2 different ways based on the actions that they've taken, right? So example, your CTA, your call to action, for the people that just are leads, your call to action in your emails and in your video or whatever is going to be, hey, go out and fill out the application, right? That's what you're trying to get them to do. But now the people that have already filled out the application, you don't want them seeing those messages. You want to speak to them where it's like, hey, your call to action is doing something. What's the next step, right? Now, the next step for me, when I do a deep application process, because the thing is, sorry for a voice crack there. The thing is when you're running a lot of traffic like this, you don't want to be talking to everyone. You don't. You just don't have time in the day. There's going to be 90% of the people that are just on there wasting your time, and you don't have time to be dealing with everyone, which is exactly why you have an application process. Because say, for example, you have 10% of your clicks, you buy 500 clicks, 10% of those fill out an application right here. That means you got 50 people that now you know are serious, really serious, more serious than leads. And you'll get some more as you start following up with your list, but you have 50 that are serious, that you have their phone number and a couple questions that you asked. Now, right? Now this is where it gets fun, right? This is where it gets really fun. Because now that you have that, but you still don't have too much about them. And when you're wanting to close a sale, you want to know as much about this person as you possibly can. For those of you that were working with me before, if you've ever worked with me and you kind of know about the upsell process that we would go through, or deeper application process. So for example, right now, they filled out an application. We would go into what I've been testing, what I like to call is a deeper application, right? Which again, will segment them out to another list. So now you have a list of people that are leads. You have a list of people that filled out a basic application that are kind of serious, and you have another list of people that filled out a deeper application that are really serious, right? These are the people that you're going to be calling first. And so now out of those 500 people that you drove to your site, you've narrowed it down to 5 that you really want to talk to, or 10. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. But now you're not wasting your time with the 495 people that aren't serious. You see what I mean? And that's the whole point of this, is to get to the people that are serious, that are worth your time to talk to. Okay? This is a longer form. This is framed to only attract the most serious people. You're going to get the name, phone number, email again, and you're going to ask a little bit of some deeper questions. So you're going to go into like, how much time do they have to commit, right? What skills can they bring to the table, right? What experience do they have? What's their why? Why do they want to do this? Like, what is their vision? You know what I mean? How much money are they looking to make? How much money do they have for startup capital? Say, for example, if I choose to work with you directly today, how much money do you have to start up today? How much money do you have for marketing, right? What you're doing here is you're having them sell you, right? Because the thing is the truth is you don't want to work with everyone, and you don't. Because there's a lot of people that are out there that are just out to waste your time. They want something for nothing, that are tire kickers, that don't want to do any work, and those are people you want to work with. It doesn't matter if a guy comes up to me and he's lazy, he won't do what I tell him, he doesn't want to do any work, he doesn't want to do anything, but he's got $2,500 and he wants to start right now, I won't take his money. He physically could not pay me to take his money. He couldn't, because it's going to be a headache, right? There's a thing called the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your people are going to cause 20% of your 80% of your people, right, are going to cause like 20% of your people, sorry, are going to cause 80% of your problems, right? But then there's 20% of your people that are going to generate 80% of your results. You know what I mean? So there's always, if you can get to the point of weeding out those people that you don't want to work with and just focusing on the people that take action, focus on the people that really make moves and do things, because those are the people that you want to work with anyways. So what this does here, and this is where it gets fun. Now, what would you do? You're selling a $2,500 product. You bought 500 clicks. You got 250 leads. Of those 250 leads, you got 50 applications. Of those 50 applications, you got 5 deep applications of people that told you they had $500 to $1,000 to start up, or they had $2,500 to start up, or they had $5,000, whatever they had. You know how much money they have to start up before you even get on the phone, right? You know how serious they are. You know how much time they're willing to commit, what skills they have. These people are literally selling you, and you want to pre-frame like that in your video, right? You are the expert. When you know this kind of stuff, you are the expert, whether you like to believe it or not, because most people don't have this information. They don't even know how to do any of this, right? So when you know how to do this, you are the expert. You need to step into that and realize that you are the expert, and realize that they need to sell you on why you should work with them, or why you should choose them to work with, right? Tell them that, leave scarcity. Tell them you're only working with 10 people, and be serious for this funnel, or for this specific amount of traffic, or whatever. I do that all the time. I'll tell people I'm only taking 10 people, right? Or I'm only taking 5. I'll do that to my list to promote scarcity, to make sure that they know I'm not going to be working with everybody, because I'm not, right? And I'm telling them too, based on their application, I'm not even going to call all of the applications that I get. I'm not, right? I'm going to call all the deeper applications. So I'll tell that after they filled out the first application, I'll jump in. I'll be like, hey, you know what? You showed me that you're kind of serious. You filled out a basic application, but you know what? I still get hundreds of people that come through to this point, and there's no way I can talk to all of you, right? You've shown me that you're kind of serious, and I'll be weeding through these to find out the serious ones out of the group. But if you want to guarantee that you get a phone call with me, fill out the deeper application and really show me that you're serious, and then you're going to get a phone call with me. You know what I mean? And now what you're going to do is now before you get on the phone, you know how much money they have, you know how much time they have to commit, what skills they have, how much money they're looking to make, and you're just positioning this in a way where it's the best solution for them to get them where they want to be as fast as physically possible, because it is, right? And if you don't believe that your product is, then you probably should get a different product. But I believe whenever I get anyone in for $2,500, I have the best possible solution to get them to where they want to be, to get them to hitting their goals as fast as physically possible. And all I do is position it in a way that shows them that, right? I know they have $2,500 before they get on the phone, so I know they're buying that $2,500 package before I even talk to them. And now I don't have to put out a feeler, right? I'm going to jump off this and sorry, I'm going to jump back into don't know areas, but explain this entire process, how everything connects, because people I talk to are doing part of something, but not the end. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, so what I wanted to yeah, so with that, you want to be able to have like a deeper application. I'm going to get into more in depth, but I'm just kind of showing you guys right now what's possible. A lot of you guys are working with me directly, or you're working with my team, and you kind of will be seeing some of this stuff with what we're rolling out. But for those of you that aren't working directly with me, a lot of you don't even know that this is possible, right? You don't even know that you can do this, right? Because when you go through and get into like a deeper application process, which I can do a webinar where I literally walk you through setting up every step of the process all the way through. I can easily do that. That can be something we do moving forward, right? And so don't know where everyone is here, but explain this entire process, how everything connects, because some people to talk to are doing part of something, but not the end. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of done like that by design, just to kind of show you guys what is possible, and the how-to is going to be for the serious people. The how-to are going to be for the people that really want to take action and really want to move forward. But you want to just be able to show people what's possible, what they're able to go out and do. I just want to be able to show people the tools that I'm using, the process that I'm doing. And for the people that are serious, easily reach out, connect with me. We can get more in depth on some of the things that we're doing. I just wanted to show you what's working with me, because I've been able to earn 5 figures a month online. So where would I go to find a beginner video on Facebook advertising so then I can put the puzzle pieces together? Jane, what I would highly suggest before you even do that is to get solo ads converting, right? I would get solo ads converting. I'll talk at the end where I can show you one of the providers that I use. But you want to be able to get solo ads converting, because until you can kind of get that, Facebook's a totally different beast, right? Where you're going to have to learn a lot more in-depth technical things to be able to get that to work. And it's not something that's duplicatable for everyone. And especially if you're building a team, you need something that's the easiest, most duplicatable way to work, right? As you get solo ads converting, that can be something that you kind of work on in the back end, and you show to just like your power players. But for right now I'm showing you guys what works. Right now you can run solo ads, run them to a sales funnel, make sure that you're split testing so you know the variations that work the best, pre-frame them to an application, which goes into a deeper application, right? So now you're just having deep applications being filled, right? That tell you what the people want, how much money they're looking to invest, how much time they can commit, what skills they have. They're trying to sell you on why they should join you. And now you're only getting on the phone with serious people that are ready to get started before you get on the phone. You know what I mean? That's the easiest way to go do it. And that's the easiest way to teach people how to do it, because it's very, very simple when you can go and click a button and have 500 people to your site. You know what I mean? Very, very simple to be able to go and do that when you can click a button and have people to go to your site. Because Nate knows, Nate does Facebook ads, and it's something that's not super easily duplicatable. Facebook is a totally different beast, like he's saying. I would definitely get solo ads running, because You want to have something that everyone can do, right? So that when you start bringing your team in, they can all duplicate it and do exactly what you're doing, right? That's one of the biggest things is, because if you took you forever, for me, I'll tell you right now about Facebook ads. I first started doing Facebook ads, I did it for months, and I spent $2,000 to get my first $25 sale. And you know what happened? Most people will look at that and they go, oh my God, this sucks. This is awful. I just wasted $1,975 on this crap. You know what I did? I was like, holy crap, it works. But most people aren't going to think like that. 90% of your team is not going to think like that. You know what I mean? And they're going to go through and it's going to be really tough to be able to go out and do. Facebook ads is really something that you kind of do on your own, and you only teach to your top producers. People that are actually making moves, people that are making money already, and people that actually have the time to be able to dedicate to learn to that, right? But right now, solo ads, anyone can click a button and have 500 people to their site, right? Anyone can split test a bunch of different variations, right? Very, very easy to do. And if you want me to go on a webinar where I just teach that, definitely let me know in the comment section, and I'll do something just specifically on split testing, right? Now, most people are led to believe that Facebook ads are cheaper to start with, but getting your targeted audience is a little bit more complicated. I explain the difference between the two. Okay, so Facebook ads are cheaper if you know what you're doing. Okay, if Nate goes and runs Facebook ads right now, or if I go and run Facebook ads right now, yeah, they are cheaper, definitely, without a doubt. But the thing is that to get to the point where they are cheaper, it's going to cost you a lot more money, right? Because you're going to figure out what works. You're going to have to test what pictures work better, what headline works better, what body works better, and split test, just like we're doing with lead capture pages, but with ads. And that's just to get the click, right? A lot more work. And the thing is, I don't know about you guys, but I'm lazy. I want to go do things that are fun. I want to have traffic that I click a button and then I go snowboarding and I still have people come into my business, right? That's exactly what I want to do. And Facebook ads is a little bit more in depth. So for people just getting started, I would steer away from Facebook ads for now. Definitely. I would focus on something. You want to have, like with solo ads, your traffic is now completely automated. I don't know if you guys get that. You don't have to focus on traffic now. You just click for how much you want to buy and you buy it. And it's always the same price. You can buy more whenever you want, and it's done. Now traffic is out of the picture. Now all you have to worry about is conversions, right? Split testing, exactly. It's split testing, right? And for Facebook ads, yeah, you can get to the point where it's cheaper. But the thing is we want to get you into profit right away. And the first thing that we want to do, if we can automate one of the processes like traffic and completely automate that, especially when you're just starting, that's what we're going to do, right? You're going to completely automate. And even though I know how to do Facebook ads, I'm running solo ads because it's easy. It's so easy. I click a button and have 1,000 people to my site. You know what I mean? It's super, super simple. And I'll show you some traffic sources if you shoot me a message on Facebook. I'll show you some of the traffic sources that I'm using with solo ads. Definitely. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so basically now you can kind of see like what I've been doing is I'll have my lead capture page, right? My traffic's automated, so traffic's gone out of here. I don't even have to worry about it. Don't even think about it ever. Okay, send it to my lead capture page where I'm testing different variation. And so I'm a realtor in Denver. I do video ads each week. Last weekend I ran a $10 ad that got 344 views and plenty of calls. I just don't know how to do the solo ad and split testing. Yeah, so the solo ad part is really easy. I'll show you guys the provider that I use just so you guys can do that for yourselves. Very, very simple to use. And then split testing, I'll go more in depth. What we'll do is for all you guys that have showed up here, I just want to thank you guys again for coming out. It's only 8 people showed up out of 30. I cut the registration off at 30, and some people were mad, but I wanted to make sure that it was kind of a close-knit thing for everyone. Basically, so you can kind of see the process here. Let me pull up the sketchbook here. Okay, so I'm going to show just kind of a basic overview so you can kind of see. Go new. Oops, cancel. New, cancel. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have traffic.
right? That's going to go to your lead capture page, right? Right? This is the process that I'm using with Solo Ads. This is how I'm getting PPAs in. So I'm getting the $2,500 package or the $600 package or whatever, right? Running into the capture page, I'm converting at least like 50 to 70% of those to leads, okay? Once they go into here, it's going to a pre-frame where it's a video, right? This is a pre-frame, right? Where it's a video of me. There's a button below to fill out the application, so I'm sharing my story. And I can go over some examples and show you guys some stuff like that later on. It's getting a bit late here. Going over my story there, getting to fill out an application. When they fill out that application, now that takes them onto a different list, right? Takes them onto a different list, and it takes them over to another page, right? Now it's another video. I talk about how, hey, you're serious, you took action, I love it. But you know what? A lot of people get to this point too. Show me that you're really serious and fill out the deeper application to work with me directly, right? This is the key part, because now this is what allows me to know how much money they have, how much time they're looking to commit, what skills they have, all these different things, right? And then from there, right, now they can go to another page, right? This is a really awful drawing, sorry guys. Right, they can go to another page, right? And now it's going to go through a video, and there's a what I like to do is I like to book in calls, so I could have them sent to my calendar where they can book in a call to work with me, or I'll get them to add me on Facebook, right? So you're sending traffic, you're capturing the lead, then you're going through and you're getting them to fill out an application, right? So this fills out an app that gets onto a separate list, right? This gets a deeper application that goes onto another list, right? So for an example, what I'll do is I'll pull up mine so you guys can walk through this and see what I'm doing for yourselves here. Let me just jump out of here. Okay, so for mine, let's see. So for example here, okay, so what'll happen? People go to opt in. Okay.
What if your everyday life?
Right, they go to opt in. They get to another spot here. Right? Once they get to this part, it's a pre-frame going into filling out an application, right? They fill out an application, name, phone number, whatever, some questions. Then when they apply, it segments them out another list, right? It takes them over to here.
All right.
Right? So I know they're serious. Now it goes through and talking about, I want to find out if they're really serious. A lot of people get to this point, but I want to know if they really are serious, right? So when they go to apply here, now it's like, okay, name, phone number, email. I want to quit my job. I have 40 hours a week to work. I have, I'm going to listen to follow everything to the T. I have $10,000 to start, and I have this much money per month. And they apply, right? So now I have 3 separate lists. It gets to the point, right? So they go to apply, and they apply now, right? Right, so now they can add me on Facebook, right? And at any point in time, I'm getting a little late here, so I'm going to have to do this on another time. But at any point in time, what you can be able to do is to monetize this existing audience, because maybe sometimes they don't want your offer. Well, if you look at the bottom through my entire funnel, there was a thing that just says, hey, and you know what? Just take me to the sales funnel training. Maybe I don't want to work with you directly, or maybe I've already gone through the funnel, now I want to go to the sales funnel training. And all that's going to do is actually going to bring them onto another list, right? And I can go into things like this. I can go into start, right? Sales funnel mastery. I can show them how I'm using all these different tools, like how to get lead pages, how I'm using that to split test all my capture pages, make really high converting pages, and do all that stuff. You know what I mean? I can take them to another part after that, where it goes to an autoresponder that I'm using. So it'll show them how to use GetResponse. You know what I mean? And then it'll be like, okay, click the link below and get response. This is another part of like a self-liquidating funnel. You know what I mean? And I can go a lot more in depth about this. If there's anything that, this might be a little bit over your head for some of you, but I'm just gonna have to jump in and cut this off pretty quick. But just so you can kind of see like what's possible and everything, most people have no idea how to do any of this. They have no idea how to do this. What I'm doing is I'm earning money on lead pages. I'm earning money on get response. I'm earning money on all the other tools that I promote. And what that does is it allows you to have what's called a self-liquidating funnel, right? It allows you to have what's called a self-liquidating funnel. The Godfather look. Quality versus quantity, which is what you want in internet marketing. Definitely. Yeah, so I mean the solo ad stuff, it can be stuff depending on if you guys are in the beta group or not, with what we're doing. We can get into stuff like that. So what I want to know for you guys is, did you guys kind of find some of this valuable? I know I didn't realize how much information there is, and I had to leave a ton of stuff out. And there's still more I wanted to kind of touch on, but I've already been on here for an hour and a bit. And so there's no way I'm going to be able to touch on everything. But all I want to know is, did you guys find value in what you guys have seen so far? Right? Can you see the value in why you need to split test? Can you see the value in why you need to spend the extra money to get the high quality traffic, instead of buying the cheapest clicks out there? You see the value in why you need to get your face out there and allow people to like, know, and trust you. Because what happens is when you're the one, whether or not you believe that you have the leadership or the skill set to be able to go out and do these things, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter, because you just got to get out there, show people that you're real, show people that you're someone they can like, know, and trust. Show people that you make mistakes. Just tell them your story about the struggles that you've been through, and show them how you kind of got out of it, or how you've been introduced to an opportunity that's going to allow you to get out of it. You know what I mean? Do you see what the value is in monetizing your exit traffic so that even people that don't buy are able to come and buy from you? I didn't even talk about retargeting tonight at all. Like, there's so many different things that we can get into and start talking about. But what I wanted to do is just kind of give you guys a layout and an overview. I want to know if you guys find value. I want to know if you guys want me to keep doing this for people. Do you want me to keep going through and doing webinars? And now that you kind of see what's possible, like now we can do retargeting, just so you guys can kind of see what's happening here with retargeting. What you can do is, say for example, people get to your page, right? They come to your page to opt in, right? They don't put in their email, right? Now you monetize them with exit traffic, sure. But on top of that, you can send out a retargeting ad on Facebook that targets the people that got to the opt-in page but didn't get to the other page. So all the people that didn't opt in, and now they have an ad that follows them around on Facebook and says, hey, you got to my page but didn't opt in. What's up? Did you miss this? Did something distract you? You know what I mean? They're like, oh my God. Like what? Like, oh my God. Like what? Is this serious? It's following them. You see what happens with retargeting is it gives you that celebrity effect, because now everywhere that person goes, they're seeing you. You know what I mean? They're seeing you everywhere. They're like, who is this person? You know what I mean? They're like, I gotta follow them. I gotta follow them. And you can do that through the entire process. You can be like, hey, you filled out the lead, but you didn't fill out an application. What's going on? Did you get distracted? What happened? I noticed that you missed this. I was trying to give you something here. And so you can speak to whatever part of the funnel they got to. You can talk to them because you know what part they got to based on your retargeting, which is really, really cool. So Michael, this has got to be one of the most valuable webinars that I've been on since getting started and working online. Thank you. You know what? That's why I do this. You know what I mean? Like, I did this and I'm not even selling anything. I'm showing you guys what tools I use, sure, but I'm not even selling anything. Not at all. If you guys, though, for those of you, I'm going to display a thing here for ClickMagick. Okay, and I would highly recommend, for those of you guys that don't have that, if you're getting started in running traffic and stuff like that, I know some of you on here already have that. Go get it. You need to be able to track and know it's $17 a month. You need to be able to go through and track your entire process, because that, you don't need to be a genius. You don't need to know what's going to work. But if you can track everything, you just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and find out what works the best and keep what works the best. You know what I mean? That's why it's so easy, because I'm not smarter than anyone. I don't know more things than other people. I just tracked all the way through and just threw a bunch of shit at the wall,
one variation at the time. I threw a fuckload of headlines up. Sorry for my language. I threw a bunch of headlines up. I found out what worked better because I didn't know what one worked better. I just kind of threw up whatever, and then I found out what worked, and then I went on to a different variation. And then being able to monetize your exit traffic and get some money out of there, that's huge. It's massive. What I want to do though, my computer's going to die, and I'm going to jump off pretty quick here. I want to know in the comments section here, did you guys find value in this? I think it's awesome. This is what I really needed. So much to learn, and I am so happy I met you. Thank you so much. You know what? That's awesome. Thank you so much, Terry. And I'm really glad you got to come in and check this out. I really kept this kind of close-knit. I wanted to do something small so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, because most people, they have no idea. What I want to do here, just so we can kind of see, because I want to be able to get the most feedback possible, because the best way for me to be able to help you is for you guys to be able to kind of just let me know what part of the process you want to learn. Or if you're interested in what I'm sharing and you find value in here, so Terry found value, Michael said it was awesome, Colleen said absolutely, Angela said yes, Kelly said it happened to each of you when you're looking for something like a cruise, they retarget you. So that is why you see lots of cruise ads, just because you're looking up cruise. Exactly, right? You could be looking up a trip to Bora Bora. This actually just happened to me because I was looking up a Bora Bora trip for me and, well, I guess my ex-girlfriend now. But I was looking up a Bora Bora trip, and now everywhere I go, keeps popping up, Bora Bora, Bora Bora. I'm like, man, those guys know what they're doing. You know what I mean? What I want to do right here, I'm at 2% battery. If all of you guys can go right now, and what I'll do is I'll do another webinar for you guys in a week or so. Make a Facebook status, tag me in it, and let me know what your honest opinion of what tonight's webinar was. Make a status, let me know what your honest opinion about what tonight's webinar was, and whether it was bad, whether it was awful, maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. Honest opinion. If you think it sucked, tell me it sucked. If you think it was good, tell me it was good. But write a status, tag me in it, and let me know what you thought about the webinar tonight, and let me know if you're excited to hear more. Are you excited to hear more? Are you excited to learn more about what I have to share? Are you excited to get some of the secrets that I'm doing to achieve the results in my business so you can duplicate the same results for yourself? Let me know. Make a status on Facebook, tag me in it, and let's make it happen. I remember you in the first AWOL videos in Thailand. That you keep confusing me with Thomas, Colleen. I remember the first event I met you, and you're like, "Hey, Thomas." I'm like, "Hey, what do you mean, Thomas?" I guess we look alike a little bit. But I was around that time. I wasn't in Thailand with him at the time. But yeah, let me know. Write a status. Let me know how you thought. What do you think about the webinar tonight? Let me know if you learned anything. Let me know if there's more you're wanting to learn. And what you felt and how it was tonight. I would love to see what you guys thought on Facebook. So just let me know there. And we'll be in touch, and what I'll do is I'll send you guys out when I have another webinar registration. Maybe we'll shoot to do Wednesday next week. And now we can start getting into more in-depth things. So if you want to know specifically something in-depth, shoot me an email. I'll give you guys my email here. Okay, shoot me an email. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to learn about, anything you want me to touch on. And make a status on Facebook. Tag me in it. Let me know what you thought about tonight's webinar. All right, that's all for tonight, guys. We'll cook something up for next week, and we'll be in touch soon. All right, I appreciate you guys all. We'll chat soon. See you guys.